Hi, everybody. It's Craig from Doc Sports, and it's Doc's Daily Tuesday edition. And that means, of course, Tuesday, March 18th. Happy late St. Patrick's Day. Unfortunately, I missed yesterday. I was traveling to do some college visits with my daughter. How about we go to High Point, NCAA tournament team, North Carolina, not deserving NCAA tournament, and Duke all in one day, and then 7-hour drive home. So it's been a crazy road. But Tuesdays means Tony George Tuesdays. And this is a good time of year because I'm going to bend his ear a little bit on, of course, some college hoops, including I like Drake's matchup. I'm just saying. We'll get into that when we talk college basketball. But welcome in. Don't forget, let's take care of business. Get in on our free $60 account. It's docsports.com/free60. All new customers, very simple. People say, hey, let me try you out. This is the way to try us out. Free 60, you can use it however you want. You can use it. There's a $149 March Madness pass right now. You can get all the plays through March Madness. So you just add $89. You'll get in on a ton of plays from any of your favorite experts. Or it's $30 per day per sport. So make sure you use it whoever you want on whatever sport you want. Also, don't forget about our Premium Plus and Premium level here at YouTube. If you want to try us out, that's a good way to try to sample a little. $19.99 Indian Cowboy gives you 3 or 4 plays every day here at YouTube, and then we have 3 plays every day from some of our Docs experts at the Premium Plus level, and you get the Premium level 1 included in that. You click the link to get in to get those prices. Okay, boys, this is the time of the year, as they say, that you study all year long. You watch all the games for this. Tony, I know you have a big weekend planned. Is there a couple games that maybe you have sampled out as far as your top plays for Thursday and Friday?
Yeah, I've got one circled on Thursday. Looks like a 6-unit play. It's going to be an underdog. Probably the same thing on Friday. I like out of the opening round. Friday's the best day for me. I think I'm going to pull a 7-uni out of my hat. We hit a 7-unit last week, won by 23 points over the spread. We had Illinois up against Maryland. Of course, I took Maryland, who, by the way, screwed up my Big Ten ticket. I had them winning the Big Ten. I had Florida. I had Mount St. Mary's. I had some winners. I had me some winners in them futures, but nonetheless, Big Ten, a little bit of a surprise there. So, but anyway, yes, I'm fired up, ready to go. NIT action as well. Off to St. Patty's Day. I'm still nursing a little bit of I'm not Irish and I'm not a professional, but Griffey left me a little bottle of this.
There you go. Take her down, baby.
Once I got home last night, I came in and tried to polish that bad boy off. So I'm feeling the effects, but I'm ready to roll.
All right. That sounds good. And this is the time of year to do it. Hey, why not? Nick, what do you have for this weekend?
This weekend we're eyeing up a nice 7 units on Thursday, but we're staying calm, cool, and collective here over the next couple of days. We got the play-in tournaments. We'll see how that shapes up, especially that North Carolina game. It definitely raises a couple eyebrows for me. I'm excited to see how they come out, especially after a lot of critiques say they shouldn't be in it, but we'll see. Big weekend coming up. We're rolling in college basketball. Over my last 79 plays, we're up over 8,000. So we're going to have a big weekend here, ladies and gentlemen. So make sure to tap in by all means.
All right, Griffin. I know you haven't committed on your college hoops, but I know you got.
No, I've committed, Craig. I've committed. I got a 5-unit tonight. I got a 5-unit tonight for the late games, first round NIT tournament. That play goes off at 11 p.m. Eastern time.
North Carolina game?
What's that?
The North Carolina San Diego State game?
No, it's not.
Oh, it's the NIT game.
NIT game, yeah.
Okay.
First round. And then I have a 2-pack in college hoops, and I'm 8-3 in my last 11 cards, so steamrolling right now across college hoops. NBA, I did pass today. I did give out a free selection on YouTube. Didn't love the card by any means, but I will say I do like my free play as far as it's between the Cleveland Cavs and the LA Clippers, which I'll talk about in the show today. And then on the NHL ice, I have a 2-pack as well. Currently steamrolling right now. I want to say 34-22, up over $3,800 in my last, whatever that is, 54 selections, 56 selections. So we're doused in right now. But I do have a 7-unit best bet circled up on the NHL ice for Thursday. So until then, low volume other than my 5-unit top playing college hoops today, Craig.
All right. I have been waiting. I actually had Florida as circled as the game of the year, and then some mishaps, let's just say, behind the scenes. So we lowered it to a 7-unit. They won easy on Sunday. But I think I have just an easy winner for NCAA tournament on Thursday. And then I have a 7-unit top total on Friday that I like. And both of them will be in 3-packs. So make sure you go over to the website. You get that March Madness pass. You can go get any of the March Madness passes for any of the cappers. Pick up a couple. It's $149. And I forgot to tell our production guy to put it in. I got a 10% off code. I actually got it. It's +10. So PLUS, the number 10. So put that in.
+10.
+10, 10% off. So 149 becomes what, 135 or whatever. So check it out. It'll tell the people that you're watching the show. Let's just say that. It's like, hey, where are the sales coming from? People see it. Okay, let's kick it off. We're going to go through the NBA real quick because I want to talk a ton of college basketball. I'm sure you guys did as well yesterday, including, Tony mentioned it, the San Diego State, like North Carolina. I mean, you can make arguments on this one. There's about a billion things to talk about. So excited to talk about that. But yes, 10% off. No, it's PLUS10. So spell it out. PLUS10 with no spaces. All right, so let's talk NBA real quick. Let's go the opposite direction today. Griffin, you start us off. You did say you have a YouTube free play, so why don't you talk about it?
Yeah, Craig. I've got Cleveland Cavs at LA. LA's getting 3.5 points. We got a total sitting at 232.5. Cleveland just snapped their 15-game winning streak, losing outright to Orlando in their most recent matchup. And when you lose a game like that, it's a complete cluster. Everybody, the public herd, is all going to look at this game, and immediate incentive is bounce back game. Cleveland's going to get right back on the horse. I'm not seeing it that way. Los Angeles, they've won 3 consecutive games. They're at home tonight. They play very good basketball at home with a 23-10 record. So I'm looking at this game, and I'm taking the I'm taking the Clippers here with the points. I think this is a public incentive trap. I'm flipping the script on them. Give me the Clippers tonight plus the 3.5 points, and I wouldn't be surprised if they win this game outright and give Cleveland 2 back-to-back losses, Craig.
Well, one of my favorite handicappers growing up, kind of taught me a lot of what I know, and I built on that, was they said, hey, anytime there's a long 10-plus game winning streaks and a team loses, go back and bet against them the next game because you have that letdown. You're trying to keep the streak going, all of a sudden you lose one. It worked. I remember the last time I really liked it, and I hate to say this, it was on your Chiefs going way back when the Hall returner, and they were playing the Bengals, and they lost the game 4, and they lost that game. So that was the last one I really, really used this, but I can see kind of when you were saying that, I kind of see where you come from on
Mobley also is kind of game time decision, banged up as well.
And Mitchell,
so that's another incentive.
Yeah, I think Mitchell's I think he's going to play, but he's been out a bunch lately. So deep Cavs team know that, but yeah. I mean, the Cavs, pretty much, I won't say they can limp to the finish line, but they have enough of a lead over the Celtics they can somewhat limp to I don't know about as far as incentive. Nick, what do you like as a free play in the NBA? Anything?
Yeah, we got the Atlanta Hawks -6.5 here, headed to Charlotte. The total sitting at 236.5. Both of these teams coming off losses in this game. The Hawks are on a 2-game losing streak here, just dropping to the Brooklyn Nets by 12 points on the road on Sunday. The Hornets, they lost to the Clippers on the road as well. They only put up 83 points in that game. They lost that game 123-83. Miles Bridges will be out here for the Charlotte Hornets. Ball is a game-time decision. If those two guys aren't in, who's going to be scoring for the Charlotte Hornets team? I like this Atlanta Hawks team to cover here tonight, -6.5, snap their 2-game losing streak, and get back into the win column here tonight, Craig.
I thought when Atlanta traded away Hunter that they were going to be in the tank mode because, I mean, what did you trade him? They basically just kind of picked up some picks. And I thought, oh, maybe they're going to go suck for luck type, suck for Cooper kind of thing. Like, hey, we're going to try. But they haven't. They've actually been decent since then. Team that you can actually bet on almost always getting points when they're playing good teams, obviously. So I can see this. Charlotte is, I don't understand. Michael Jordan sold the team. Same old stuff, Tony. This Charlotte team stinks. They stink.
They're horrible.
It's Tuesday. It's 2 for Tuesday at my local watering hole, the one that Griff knows. Of course, I will be there. I will be there to open up the evening with the play-in games and the world famous Chico wings that I introduced Griffin to here at the Landing in Liberty. However, let's do a twofer. Same game that Nick just talked about. Give me the under. Who's going to score for Charlotte? I mean, they might not break 90 tonight. Atlanta will pull off the throttle with a 20-point lead if it goes to that. It opened up at 236 down to 233.5. I'd still take the under at 233 in that one.
Yeah, this number's crazy high. It's every time Atlanta plays, you just it's mid 230s. It's just it's like automatic because otherwise they'll get so much action on the over. They just can't draw the action. So I can see the under. I just worry that we saw it yesterday. The Warriors, everybody, other than Gordon and Westbrook, everybody's set for Denver. What happened? They win the freaking game.
Yeah.
Because Golden State kind of messed around like, we can win this game. We don't, and they did have a back-to-back tonight, so I could see they were looking for that. So I just say Charlotte, even guys are out. I kind of think there may be a live dog a little bit tonight. I don't love any of these other games. I guess if I was looking, I would probably maybe on the bounce back on the Warriors at +3. I thought they were playing really good basketball. That was a scratch your head loss. And I'm not saying they have to win tonight, but for your ego, you kind of like they need to get home court. If they can get that 4 or 3 seed, I think it's a different story. So small play there. All right, let's talk college hoops. That's what everybody's probably here for. And we got the play-in games. Obviously, the opening play-in game is the 16 seeds. And Tony, let's start with you. The 16 seed games, the play-in tournament games, have actually been pretty close the last few years. Yet this line is 3.5. I kind of thought it would be a pick'em game. St. Francis is the underdog in this matchup, 138.5. Any opinion on this, like, dabble here?
Yeah, I got an opinion. You got to pay for it. It's a 6-unit play tonight.
Whoa.
And then I threw in a 3-unit play on the North Carolina game, which is a good one as well. But let's go to I'm going to throw out an NIT. It was a video play today, but a couple of them. I got a couple of free plays for you. I'll let you rotate and give me a chance at another one. But I do like St. Bonnie's tonight, and I've talked about this a million times. I talked about it last week when I had my world famous spot here on Doc's Daily on Tuesday, and rebounding wins this time. It wins all the time, but rebounding in the postseason is just as important or more important than guard play. And you're going to hear guard play, guard play, guard play. I've been hearing it at all these bracketology shows. By the way, for everybody watching this, those guys don't know shit about gambling. So don't even put a lot of stock in it.
Zero.
But at the end of the day, they're all preaching backcourt. You got to rebound. St. Bonnie's has a huge size advantage tonight. Huge size advantage. And on top of that, they're top 40 in college basketball in both offensive and defensive rebounding. That's when you get the shot that the guard just missed and you pitch it right back out to him when the defense has crashed the boards and the guy's wide open for the second look. That's how Florida beat the hell out of everybody in the SEC tournament. So by the way, I lean St. Bonnie's tonight a little bit. By the way, Marvin Council is one of the best. He's the best player on the floor. This kid's a baller for St. Bonnie's. And if you remember last year, he was a big star for Wagner before he transferred out when they were in the play-in game.
What do you think? Like, I'm always worried about the NIT, the first game, because some teams, and it's not necessarily these two teams, but some teams that are disappointed.
Sure.
Like, so these teams probably aren't ones but be careful in NIT because sometimes you see big school A versus little school and big school at home, and you're like, why is the line 5, 6? And then all of a sudden they lose outright, and it is never close. So be very careful of the NIT first round. After the first round, then you could see if teams really wanted to be there or not.
Well, after VCU beat the dog shit out of St. Bonnie's by 20, trust me, they're just happy to be here. And they're at home. And when you look at like Kent State, besides Miami of Ohio and Akron, and Craig, that's your neck of the woods. There was nobody worth a piss in the MAC this year. And by the way, that Akron Miami of Ohio game nobody's talking about was one of the best games of the entire weekend. That MAC championship game.
Akron's really good. Miami of Ohio's not bad. Ohio was good at home. They did beat Akron at home.
Yeah.
But the rest of the MAC had a down year. So
good luck.
Like Akron, I think Akron's for real. I think Akron's going to no one wanted to see Akron next to there because Akron's one of those teams that they can get hot, and that's all it takes to win and upset one game. You're not talking about winning the tournament, but one game, You get hot from the three-point line. It's the greatest equalizer ever created in sports.
There's a lot of 16 to 12 seeds you better not go to sleep on that are getting double digits. Put it that way.
Well, someone messaged me and they said, man, every line, it's like 6.5. And I was like, big school, doesn't matter. Like, there's a reason for that. Like, did you not see the 16 seeds go down twice in the last 4 or 5 years now? It's like, it happens. It's going to happen more because, one, three-point shooting, so many people are great at three-point shooting, and the transfer portal. There's no experienced teams anymore. Like, everybody's young or is like transferred around, and it's just there's a lot more to handicap and a lot more to actually figure out. So free play here. Nick, what do you like?
Yeah, let's go to the NIT. We got Wichita State and Oklahoma State. Oklahoma State is -6.5 here, total sitting at 155. Wichita State has a record currently of 19-14 on the season. They are 47th in the country in rebounds. Like Tony said, that's going to play a huge factor in this game. They crash the boards. They're a pesky type of team here for Wichita State. While Oklahoma State, on the other hand, they have a record of 15-17, 2 games below 500 in the Big 12 this season, but their pace of play this season, they rank 28th in the country. This game is played at home for Oklahoma State. It's a hard place to go in Stillwater and thinking you're going to come away with a victory here. I love Oklahoma State. Lay the wood 6.5. I know what you guys were saying, but I like Oklahoma State here. And the under, like Tony said.
Yeah.
Same game parlay, little both on Wichita State and Oklahoma State. Take Oklahoma State and the under, just like that NBA play.
I was wrong on Wichita State. I think every time I played them this year. I mean, they're just one of those teams that if I bet them, they don't show up. It's just like there's some teams you just cannot. You can't figure it out. It's like a Rubik's cube. With no hands trying to figure it out, like with your mouth or something. I could not figure this team out. I thought they should have been better. That was the thing I kept saying all year. They got the talent. They should be better. They underperformed. How are they going to show up in the tournament? Because I think this is going to be a team that's probably going to get cherry picked for the transfer portal. And that worries me this time of year because, if the kid's got 1 foot out the door, his agent's already talking to Kansas or whoever. Like, that worries me.
I was going to say, too, NIT tournament note, Bradley, who could have got an NCAA tourney bid, their 2 best players opted out of the NIT game.
Yeah.
Montgomery and Hughes. And Hughes was their leading scorer in the championship game. Just FYI for those of you playing the home game.
Yeah, you got to watch. And it's like bowl games now. It's pretty much like bowl games. Unless you're in the NCAA tournament, these kids don't always stick around. Or even if they do play, like I said, their agents are already talking because you have to have this stuff lined up. You can't just wait till the last minute. If you're Hunter Dickinson 2 years ago, dude, there would have been anybody was filling a roster spot for him. That's a different story.
Right.
But the NIT teams, you don't have those type of guys. So just be careful. Make sure you do your research on those games. Griffin, you got something here?
NIT, definitely. So we got St. Louis versus Arkansas State. They're laying 5.5 points. We have a total sitting at 154.5. Arkansas State, man, this team has been a sneaky beast all season long. They're 24-10 on the year. They're 54th in the nation across offensive points per game, 67th in pace of play, and 55th from the arc. If St. Louis plays man-to-man, Arkansas State's just going to run up the scoreboard on them all game long. And if they play zone, well, then they're in trouble because they're just going to pop threes against them all game long. So I'm on the Red Wolves in this one. I'm laying the 5.5, but I actually have a 2-team teaser here. I don't like teasing college basketball, especially in this type of situation. But when you've got Arkansas State laying 5.5, and then you go over to that North Carolina game versus San Diego State, tease North Carolina and tease Arkansas State. That way you're getting basically outright matchups on both cylinders, and both of these teams should win this game, both of these games outright. So I do like the 2-team tease in that, but in this matchup, I'm laying the 5.5 points with the Red Wolves, Craig.
All right, I'm going to duck and weave, as they say in boxing. I'm not ducking and weaving. I'm taking San Diego State plus the points tonight. Okay. I did a video on this earlier.
We'll get back at it tomorrow.
I'm telling you, they might not win, but if you face San Diego State on a short, this is extremely short notice, and you're not used to playing them, this is like playing Houston. It's like playing St. Mary's. This team is a dog, and everybody keeps talking bad about North Carolina, so they think, okay, North Carolina's going to play up. Let me tell you, North Carolina had they knew they had to win all these games down the stretch, and they still didn't do it. So it's not like, I mean, to me, it's like everybody's giving North Carolina like, well, they're going to play tonight. Well, why didn't they play all year long? I mean, I just don't believe in that the we're due theory, or like San Diego State, they feel disrespected because they feel like they shouldn't have to be in the playing game because they played in a good conference and they think they did enough. So to me, I'm playing San Diego State plus the points. They might not win. I just can't see them losing by more than 3. This is just not a great North Carolina team. And I agree with everybody. They shouldn't have been in. West Virginia probably should have been in. But they're in. So we're going to play it. I'm taking San Diego State plus the points. I would not doubt that North Carolina just doesn't show up. I like Hubert Davis. He seems like a really nice guy. He got a contract extension, Tony. You believe that? He got a contract extension.
You wouldn't be surprised if North Carolina didn't show up?
Yeah. One win against tournament teams, right?
I'm going to disagree too, Craig. I mean, they barely screeched their way in. In my head, if I'm thinking on that mentality, we're coming in full force. We snuck in. We better beat the hell out of San Diego.
Why weren't they doing that all year long?
San Diego State will go 4 or 5 minutes in a game and not score. Those guys can't find a shooter. Hell, they were in a championship game. They still couldn't recruit a shooter. How'd that happen?
Well, I wish that Butler kid that went to Kentucky, that dude is like, look what he's done Butler's his name, but he's at Kentucky. That dude is a leader of men. I mean, he's not playing in the NBA, I don't think, but you want this dude on your team. I thought they were going to have an extreme drop off. San Diego State's coaching staff has done for 15 years, ever since Fisher was there. They've done a great job. I just they just find ways. It's ugly. They got to what was it, Elite 8 or Sweet 16 last year, or a Final Four?
Final Four. Yeah,
Final Four. I thought so. So I mean, this is just there's some coaches who you want to coach. Hubert Davis, nice guy. Like I said, I'm not taking Hubert Davis. I just don't think he's that great a coach. He might be. They have superior talent. For sure, they have superior talent.
I wasn't arguing with your pick. I'm just saying, get your head out of your ass if you think North Carolina is not going to show up. They're going to show up.
I just don't know. When I was walking around the campus yesterday, you would think the season was already over because
birds chirping.
You lose to Duke 3 times, you lose to Duke 3 times and
yeah.
It's and they're also recruiting. You look at Duke's recruiting class, 10 miles away, and you look at your recruiting class freshman, and you're like, what is not right about this? Mm-hmm. Who's the bigger brand? The Jordan brand and all this. They got all the money too. Why is it why are they struggling? That's I think what everybody's worried about.
We have to have Bill Belichick start making recruiting calls for the hoops team. Obviously, you've seen his girlfriend. He can recruit young talent.
I still don't know. I am so interested. I wish they supposedly they were going to be on Hard Knocks type thing, and then Belichick of course said, we ain't doing that. That would have been some of the best awesome. TV. That would have been great if he really gave them true access because, obviously you can treat pros you're paying them millions of dollars. You can treat them a certain way and expect a certain thing. 18, 19-year-old kid, I don't think you can treat him like that. He's going to have to change a little bit
I think he will, and I think Lombardi, I did a lot of I did some shows with him out in Vegas. He's the general manager, but he was on VEASAN, and he's a great guy and, past NFL general manager. And I think he's kind of got Belichick's ear a little bit on, cranking it down and trying to relate to younger players. And we'll see how that entire experiment unfolds this fall. I can't wait.
It's either going to be a huge success or a huge failure. I can't imagine it's just middle of the road. They're 500. It's either going to be huge success because they all buy in and Belichick kind of changes the way a little bit and they might meet in the middle there, or it's him trying to do the like rocking a hard place and it's the players are asking out midseason. So excited there. You said you had another free play here. Are you in the NIT here?
Who, me?
Yeah.
No, that was the under.
Oh, the
in
under
that
was
game that Nick was going on. I mean, who was dead last in the Big 12 in offense this year? Oklahoma State. They suck. And Wichita State's got nothing fancy. You got a defensive index. They're in the top 75. Oklahoma State is in defense. Who's going to score? I got it power rated at 148. And it comes in at 155. That's a 7-point overlay. I'd lean under in that one.
Yeah, I like Oklahoma State. Been a rough year. Football didn't go so great.
Real rough.
Yeah.
Basketball, like it's yeah. Yep. And they got big money. Like when you have a donor that's paying billions, millions, and they expect to win. They don't want bad down years.
T-Boone Pickens is pissed.
Yeah,
he's no more Mo Iba, no more Eddie Sutton. Who the hell we got coaching? We don't know. But I tell you what, I'm out about $15 million. So you better get some stuff happening quick.
Yeah. The other game, St. Francis, I think the play is St. Francis here plus the 3.5. If people don't send me a text, I just give it out here. I think St. Francis I just think it's going to be close. You look at the last few games for Alabama State, it seems like every game they win is within a couple points. So I always think getting points, like people think that 3.5 is not in tournament time. 3.5 is like, they're fouling, they're throwing 3 in and at the buzzer. It's like points are so valuable. Tony mentioned it earlier. He said he's going to have an underdog. His top play is going to be an underdog, I believe, on either Thursday or Friday. The experts, more often than not, are on the points this time of year, just so you know. Not 100%. That you can't ever do that. But this is the time your points just are golden. So make sure you do that. Of course, if you haven't done so, make sure you follow us here at like and subscribe and follow us on YouTube, because we're going to have every college basketball NCAA tournament game broken down by one of our experts. We have 10 guys, so it's not like everybody's doing a million games. So we're going to have all of them broken down. So make sure you follow us, like and subscribe. We actually have a playlist for the March Madness, so if you follow along there, you'll get them as they come out. We'll have 4 or 5 a day.
I just want to know, you got Nick and you got Griff in Chicago together. What is the modus operandi on Thursday morning? Where are you going to land at 10 a.m. Central to start watching games and doing some of this stuff right here, Griff? What's going on, baby?
Oh, dude, we got a spot right down the road, and we will absolutely be
strawberry margaritas.
Strawberry margs all damn day, baby.
You know where I'm going. You've been to my spot.
Oh, I know the spot. Husker, baby. Get it rolling. Open up the tab and let's roll.
I'm contemplating going up to Dayton tomorrow. It's about an hour and a half from me to watch tomorrow's playing games.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
For anybody that has never seen Dayton Arena, it's like it almost gives you a high school fight environment, but it's 13,000. And these teams don't bring big crowds because you don't have enough time to, prepare. And a lot of them are saving the money so that they can go, with a day off to go see them play, hopefully, the round of 64. So it's packed. All the Dayton people come. So, if you haven't done, put it on your thing to do Tuesday or Wednesday. Go to both. It's unbelievable. And, you would think Dayton, they're rooting for, they pick a team and they root for it. It's very good basketball. And it's not expensive because, like I said, it's not like North Carolina is going to bring 10,000 people tonight. It's a play-in game.
Well, North Carolina's not even going to show up, you said. So they're not bringing any.
The fans aren't going to show up. The team, and I said might not show up. I think, I'm telling you, there's something. There's 2 teams there's something wrong with this year. Kansas and North Carolina. Because talent-wise, their talent is way better than their record. Kansas is like scratch your head.
They're laying 4.5 to Calipari.
Mm-hmm. Crazy.
What do you? I watched them play in the Big 12 here. They're terrible.
And it's like I don't know. It's got to be Dickinson, right? Because he's the only guy that's been there the last few years that it's kind of the same things that has happened to this team where it's like it doesn't make any sense.
Outside of Mayo, and he's streaky. If you're Kansas, you're like Duke and North Carolina and Kentucky and Gonzaga and Purdue. How in the hell do you not recruit a shooter? Yeah. How do you not have shooting guards on your teams? You're freaking Kansas. You understand that's like Ohio State can't recruit a quarterback. What I like Nebraska couldn't recruit a running back in the 80s and 90s when their running back university. John Naismith the basketball was invented there. Fog Allen sold out your Kansas Bill Self. You don't have a shooter? What is going on?
Tuesday,
Well,
baby.
I think part of the problem.
Tony's Rampage Tuesday.
Grady Dick was 2 years ago, and he left after his freshman year. Last year, the white shooter left too after 1 year. It's like, these kids are getting like 3 points a shoot, like is such a thing in the NBA. If you're a good shooter, you're going after 1 year. And so every year you got to recruit one if you're Bill Self. If not, you go get one in the freaking portal. Like you have millions. I think they're the number 5 team on paid as far as the NIL for college basketball. So you can't find a $750,000 for one of these small conference shooting guards that, hey, all you got to do is sit out there and make threes. It didn't make any sense. But something's not right there. Remember Bill Self said, well, I didn't really interview for the Oklahoma State job a few years ago. It's like, what? You interviewed? What are you talking about? And then of course, like right before the Oklahoma State game this year, something's not right there. I don't know what it is. I'm guessing we might find out. Just like we didn't know what was going on all year long with Iowa. And then we realized as soon as the season was over, he was out. Like it was, something is – I'm not saying he's getting fired, but like, maybe Hunter Dickinson wasn't happy. I just don't know. But North Carolina is the same thing. Like something's not right because the Davis kid's been there a million years. So, yeah, Tony's here every Tuesday. Don't forget, he's got a 7-unit and a 6-unit this weekend, Thursday and Friday. We all got some big plays. I got an 8-unit on Thursday. And don't forget, $149 right now. You go to the grid and you click on College Hoops. You can either get $30 for a day or you get $149 and get you all the way through the national championship game, which, Tony, you're probably going to have 2 or 3 plays both Thursday and Friday, right?
Yeah, I'll have 3. I'll have looks like a 4-pack on Thursday right now, a 3-pack on Friday. I'm still, these lines, by the way, are going to move dramatically over the next 48 hours. So depending on what the lines do, we're not putting them out till day of game. So we're going to be able to get some decent closing line value on these picks, versus putting them out like 3 or 4 days early. So I'd say wait and see how the lines move, before you make your wagers. And that's perfect because we're not going to have our plays out till the game day. And, you're going to get the best line available.
I don't know if this is a life lesson with Craig Trapp, but I want to say, Tony, you give this because I know what I would do, but I'm just asking you. If you're betting a favorite, do you want to bet it early or late, or if you're betting an underdog, just so like for people as far as lines, because
it depends on what kind of favorite. It depends on if it's a public darling favorite, and I do like the favorite, I'm going to bet them early, but if you bet them late, you're going to pay too much for them. And that's probably when you fade. That's probably when you fade them.
Yeah. Like there could be good middles.
System. If you're going on the underdog, you attack it right away. If you're betting reverse flip on that.
Yeah. Spit it out.
Yeah, you got it. You got it. You know what I'm
talking about. To me, I always say the one big. I always said I did a betting tips March Madness. So you can go check out the video here on YouTube. But is be careful of public underdogs. Like this is a time of year where people fall in love with the story sometimes. And sometimes that works out. Sometimes it doesn't. But usually if it's a great story, guess what? You're paying for the story. So
the 5-12 seed scenario. Yeah. Everybody's blindly betting the 12 seeds. Relax, people. You get your panties all bunched up. You're watching too much of these guys on television that are blowing smoke up your butt. The only place you need to be is Doc Sports, bottom line.
Yeah, just be careful. Like the 5-12, you used to be able to get 7 points. That was like the normal 7 to 9. Now you're getting 3.5. Sometimes they're the favorite. Like you have to be that's what I call a public underdog. And public underdogs, you do not want to be. You want to be on the opposite. You want to be on the underdog that nobody's talking about because you're going to get more value. Public underdog means you're paying for it. So instead of getting 7, like maybe the line should be, everybody's talking about it, and we're talking about ESPN, not us. Usually, you're talking about now you're getting it at 3.5, 2, 1. Like be careful on those. So anyway, we'll talk more about it again tomorrow. Of course, tomorrow, I know Raphael wasn't feeling great, so hopefully he'll be back. I don't know if you guys know, is Raphael back?
Don't go over, Jimmy. I have a premium on a side play in that matchup. Don't go on the over. I don't like the total over 5.5.
Oh yeah. I see you reading.
My bad, Craig.
Yeah. No, I was like, what are you talking about? I looked at it,
I
I
was
saw
like,
it.
what are you talking about?
All right, so hopefully we'll have Raphael tomorrow. But either way,
MTSU on that one.
Oh yeah, NIT. Hey, and people are asking why the NIT is so weak this year. There's this Vegas Crown tournament that almost all the big schools, including Tony's Nebraska, my Cincinnati, it's like a 16, I think, tournament, and they all go to Vegas and play until they get a champion. So that's why the NIT has lesser teams.
Once word got out that the mighty Cornhuskers were headed to Vegas, they all bailed on the NIT. We got to go try and knock off those Huskers in Hoiberg. It's real simple. If you score 65 points, you frickin' beat them.
Well, the funny thing is the news came out that people were declining the NIT, so people thought these teams weren't playing in the postseason, but they were just declining the NIT to go play for a lot more money in Vegas. Right. I think someone said there's an NIL feature to this, that the players actually get some more money. So of course the players were like, "Hey, let's go, coach. First of all, let's go to Vegas and have some fun, and let's get some money." And I believe that tournament's in between the Sweet 16 week and the conference tournament week. So you have like 4 days, and that's the 4 days they're going to play the tournament, is what I've been told. So anyway,
hey, Griff, by the way, we may have to go out for that Crown tournament. You mean we can drink Crown down at T-Mobile and watch the Huskers play? That sounds like a trip, baby.
Dude, I'm in.
I might kill them. We're going out on Monday. Not this. Yeah. Monday, Griffin, Nick, and I are going to be in Vegas.
I'm going to miss that. I'm going to
4 or 5 days. I might kill these boys. They don't know what it's like hanging with the big dog, Tony.
Oh no, I'm going to stay home, count my money from the opening rounds, and be a sexual disappointment here.
All right, everybody, have a great one. I hope all your bets are winning ones. Don't forget, go over to Doc Sports, use that promo code +10 PLUS10, no spaces, to get 10% off on everything, including the March Madness passes that are up for $149 under college hoops. Spit it out. You got it. There you go. Good luck.